Hello Capricorn, hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. And we're going to have a look into your current situation, the higher view over your situation, and what you can do to help yourself, and all with the intention to encourage, elevate, and empower you on your personal and spiritual growth journey. Okay, so let's hop in. Let's have a look what we have for you Capricorns. Let me just say, especially right now and in November, we have the energies of, patterns, addictions that could potentially be popping up in order to resolve them. So they could come in as in like this, full on, so you can see them, and then you can recognize the pattern behind them. Why is that actually happening, right? So journaling is highly recommended. Breath work is highly recommended. Meditation is highly recommended. Anything that would give you insights on your physical state, I want to say, because I feel it does have to do a lot with the physical body too. We may all of a sudden, get rashes or something like that, or have some other discomfort because it's expressing itself physically, so that we can get over it, okay? So that we can heal it. All right, let's hop in. What do we have for Capricorn, please? Immediately, I have death and rebirth here. This one, yeah. So death and rebirth, scorpionic energy. We're doing a deep dive. So everything I just said very much applies. We're going to be the phoenix rising, Capricorn, like from the ashes once more, which is beautiful because there's a recognition in that too, who you once used to be. So there's past lives coming in, past life experiences. Also something that, people coming in, events coming in that may trigger you into these states, or may have triggered you into these states where you feel almost like not yourself. And that is why, because of the past life occurrences, and then you briefly touch on it, you immediately have your lesson or your benefit from it again, and then you let it go, and then it slides into something else. Okay, then you are yourself again, I want to say. Okay, but there could be a couple of these things coming up. They're also saying the topic of timelines, switching timelines. Everything is amplified, truly, because we're looking at 2023. How fast was that year over? I mean, it's crazy. It's almost like it just started. What happened? Like, where did all this time go? And I'm getting the sense that it will speed up even more. And we have the infinity symbol here too. It's interesting too, because I just listened to something this morning where it says the infinity symbol, the present moment is where these two meet. And that's exactly what I want to tell you about those times when time seems to be sped up, everything seems to be going so fast, to tap yourself into the present moment. And that's happening through the body. So you're becoming aware of that very moment. How do things feel? What do they sound like? What do they feel like? What do they look like? And that's how you really bring yourself back. And I highly recommend tapping in like 3 times a day, maybe in the morning before you get up, and then another time after lunch maybe, and then before you go to bed. How do you feel? Just that, and just feeling, really feeling into it, and that will slow things down for you tremendously. In case you're feeling like you're in a loop and it just takes you and takes you, that's one thing, one very easy thing that you can do. It doesn't take a lot of time either. Yes, no, no, yes, no, 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 yes. Okay, so we have the 8 of Swords, one card that I can't see yet, and the Wheel. So the completion. And oh, sorry, the Wheel is sorry, not the World, the Wheel, where where you make it seem so easy, because you're balancing on top of all of these scales, and they're wobbly, right? It's just like, wow. And it takes quite the skill to stay up there, and that would be you. Also, something's in the making is what this card is talking about. And so, since it's in the making, don't step in between, because it's gonna, it's gonna keep rotating. It's gonna keep moving on its own. You can't make that stop, okay? That's something, a divine occurrence, I want to say, for sure. But you're doing great. Like, by the looks of it, you're doing really great. This one, oh my God, that was a surprise. Okay, so your second card out, because I just jumped a little bit, is the Eight of Swords. And the mystery card was the Nine of Cups. So complete wish fulfillment. Something that they describe right now in terms of, you know, with the Eight of Swords, something that has kept you stuck. A mental pattern. Why is that? That this addiction, this whatever it is for you, this unhealthy pattern is currently popping up for you to see, only for you to transform it. Like I said, journaling is a great way to really tap yourself into why that is there. What's the root cause of it? Like, for example, addiction to food, addiction to sugar, addiction to coffee. Why is that there? Like, it's not because you love to eat, although that could be, and you enjoy your coffee, but if it's too much, it's detrimental to your health. And so, why is that here? And to go on a journey via journaling, I want to say, okay? Or in meditation. Ask that question before you go into meditation. Meditate, and then come out with the answer. And I feel it's a pretty big transformative process here for you. For a lot of people, I want to say here currently. And you'll do great at it. It's like the light and the shadow. It's balancing itself out. Something you see or that is made visible to you. But the choice is yours, right? It's the choice. Yours is the choice here if you choose to work with it or no. If you're staying in anxiety possibly, because that can induce some anxiety here if you don't choose to take the higher route here, I want to say. But for the majority here of you, I want to say that you're getting your wish fulfillment because you're stepping into new patterns. If an old pattern doesn't work out for you any longer, you can make it so it does work out for you. If you continue on the same path, it's going to be the same thing. But if you're deciding, oh no, I'm going to switch here, I'm going to do something differently, and hence you'll receive a different outcome. Yeah, for sure. Let me check. Okay, none of these ices. Yep. Okay. All right. So we're going to bring in the heavy hitter, the Isis Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. For those of you that have been here for a while, you know that I usually, I reserve her for special occasions. She's not necessarily part of the cards that are out here, but she's present. So let's see what we have for our dear Capricorns. What does Isis want to share with you? What do you need to know right now? What else? I feel it has to do with the transformation, with the death and rebirth process, with the scorpionic energies. Because these can be major changes, right? Maybe if you've noticed this before, Capricorn, when you made like a smaller adjustment, for example, getting up and making your bed in the morning, right? That can change your whole day. Or if you have a gratitude practice, which only takes a couple of minutes, if even that, you have 5 things you're grateful for, that'll change the whole trajectory of your day. I highly recommend it. But you have to stay disciplined with it. If we're not disciplined with these things, okay, let me put it this way. When we're having a gratitude practice in place, it helps us with our mood. Number 1, right? Which then helps us attract to what we want better into life, okay? But when we stop doing the practices because we don't see immediate evidence, that's when it gets tricky. And it may have happened to you too, where you think, I don't know how to manifest. I don't know how this works. Well, try this. Try it for 30 days and watch the evidence come in. If it's not yet the evidence you would like to see in your material world, you reject it. You say, no, that's not what I want. No, thank you. I want this. Be very specific on what that is. Writing it down also helps. Yeah. And then stay with it. The important thing is to stay with it until it's there. And the evidence will come in faster and faster for you, I want to say. This one, no. Interesting. Okay. Is this for Capricorn? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're just going to keep shuffling then. It's not a coincidence that I was talking about manifesting, and now it doesn't really want to. This one, yeah. Ooh, wow. You have life restored. Priestess of the Phoenix. Wow, what a confirmation, guys. Because we were talking about the Phoenix rising, right? With the death and rebirth. And I said it had something to do with that card. And here we go. There it is for you. It's very clear. And it's right underneath the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. Some of you already have started to work on this transformational process. And you're halfway into the 9 of Cups already. So life restored, that's amazing. Let me see. By the way, if I have glitter or stuff on my hands, it's from glue and from creative projects that I'm currently doing with my kids. So yeah, that's why. I apologize. I wasn't able to get it all off. Okay, life restored. Here, there it was. I just saw you. Life restored. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now, my dear Capricorns. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, you have a double thing here. That's magnificent, and it's also really big. We have a double confirmation here. So too will you rise again, healed and renewed. Anything more? No. That's incredible. So you have this double confirmation. I also just saw something shedding, you know, heart. When you have the scarab, for example, I'm not entirely sure if they're shedding their shell, but I know of other insects that shed their shells. And sometimes that can be a tough process because the shell itself is not necessarily so easy to get out of. But once they're out, it's like, woof, they surely know what they have done, what they have just accomplished. And I highly recommend that to staying conscious, staying present here, Capricorn, because you too should know what you've accomplished here. Sorry, how far you've come, what you've accomplished here, okay? You did really, really well so far. Just keep going. Keep going through the process. Keep going with yet another round. It's not a linear process, the spiritual ascension. It's a spiraling type of a process, okay? And it spirals more and more. Every spiral you learn more. Every spiral there are new things. But there's also going to be some repetitive things that you keep taking along with you. And you're being asked currently to let go of one big thing. One big unhealthy pattern that is still circulating around that has been holding you down so that you can be indeed in your 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment, right? That which you've put in the void finally coming to you, okay? But it does have to do with your own involvement. I really need to say this here. All right, sweethearts, thank you so much for watching. We're going to take this over to Patreon for those of you who are interested in receiving the rest of your reading. I have a feeling it's going to be interesting because it takes us a little bit away from this. And I feel like bigger cards are coming in and are placed maybe in places that you may not have thought of. That's interesting. It does have to do with your manifestation though, but it may come in differently than you have thought, which is very interesting. Okay, cool. So it's 11/11 a month. I'll see you either over on Patreon or next time. And for those of you that don't know how Patreon works, you just go ahead, you just you click the link down below, and it's for the whole month. It's not just for this extended, but for everything that's created within that month. There's also a bunch of picker cards over there, workshops, past extended. There's over 400 videos over there and posts, so knock yourselves out, okay? Really have a look around if you want to, and you can cancel at any time, or you might as well just stay however you feel called to. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time we're over on Patreon. Mwah! Bye.